Hey peeps, Pudgy here from Gamestunt. Now today I want to give you my Insect Glaive guide for Monster Hunter Wild. The beta version, it might change later on when the new version comes out. But for now, I'm going to show you what you can actually do with the Insect Glaive. Now they changed quite a bit on the Insect Glaive because before it was really Ariel. Especially in Rise, because when you played Rise you could even use your wire box to like wire away or wire somewhere else, continue your attacks in the air, and you could even switch between two different stances where you did like different aerial attacks. In Monster Hunter World it was basically just a helicopter that you could do, but you would bounce off the monster and you could continue this up to like 5 times. Now this isn't anymore in Monster Hunter Wilds. Now the thing is with it, it does take the fun factor for me for the weapon away a bit, but we get some really cool new additions to the game that really make the weapon very powerful and very fun. Now the first thing I really want to talk about is basically collecting your extracts, because one of the things that they basically added in the game is that you can actually charge your Kinsect now. So basically if you take your weapon out by pressing triangle and you hold R2 and then you hold triangle, you can see like a white flame coming out of the back of your Insect Glaive. Now if you release it, then your Kinsect will basically go through the monster and it can collect up to 3 extracts at a time. So I would always advise doing this. Now if I'm gathering the Kinsect essence, I tend to like aim down a little bit. I don't know why, because if you tend to aim like directly at the spot where you're aiming at, it tends to go over it a little bit. So I tend to aim down a little bit more to like basically go through the monster and hit him a couple of times. I don't know, they might just patch it out a little bit, patch it up by the time the game goes out, or it works a little bit better. But yeah, for now just aiming a little bit more down is easier to like hit the monster on the spot where you basically want to hit it. The second tip I will give you is always take your severing Kinsect, don't take the blunt one. You can take the blunt one if you really want to knockdowns, but if you really want to do more damage, you want to get as much cuts as possible, because there's a really cool combo that you can actually do in the game now that requires you to like also use the focus mode and then initiate the cut so you can get more colors back. Right now, if you've basically collected the essences, there are basically 3 things you can actually do if you want to go up into the air. So you can basically just press X and then you can press triangle, and then you will do like the helicopter attack, which previously was circle. Now this is going to be Y on the Xbox, it's going to be triangle, and B is going to be circle. Now the other thing you can actually do, if you press circle or B, when you're in the air, you can just like twist around, like you do like some somersaults with your Insect Glaive, and you basically hit the monster for a harder attack. It's also good mount damage, you know, so it's also a pretty strong attack. Now the other thing which is become pretty hard now, because one of the things they actually changed, the lock-on system just points you at the monster and then it goes away. You don't say locked on all the time, so it's become a little bit harder to like aim it correctly. Well, basically if you hold your R2 trigger and you hold your circle, it's what I tend to do. I tend to like hold my R2 and circle, and then I stand still just for a bit, right? It's just to like charge my weapon, because it's also something that they changed in the game. You can actually charge your weapon up to 2 charges, and once you charge your weapon, you can basically jump up into the air by pressing X, and then if you want to go a little bit further you can press X again, but you still need to hold circle. So I'm gonna remind you, you can't release the circle just yet, because once you're at the monster and you release circle, you will basically pierce down on the monster, so, and that will do like big damage, right? So that's a really strong attack there. So that's what you basically want to be doing. Right now you can also do this from the ground, you don't need to be in the air. So basically if you just hold your circle or your B button, you run to the monster. If you release it, you will do like a combo attack, really powerful one. After that, once it's finished, if you basically press L2 and circle, or left trigger and B, you will also do the rising spiral slash in the air, and there you can basically go into a mount, as you can see here, or you can also do like the focus attacks and stuff like that. But the other thing what you want to be doing, if you have all 3 extracts, you want to press L2 or left trigger and circle or B on the Xbox right after you hit the monster with like the piercing attack, because what will happen is you will basically go up in a spiraling way. You'll hit him like multiple times for big damage. After you've done this, you will regain some of your colors or all of your colors back, depending on which parts you hit from the monster. Right now, the other thing which you can actually do, if you have already created wounds, that's why I'm actually advising you to take like the Severing Kit Kinsect. If you just do that move where you spiral up into the air and you press L2 or left trigger and R1 or right bumper, if you press those together, you can instantly go into like a focus attack, right? You need to be like close enough though. It's like when you basically go up and you're falling down again, if you press it then on just on top of like one of the wounds, you will instantly do a focus attack from the air and a burst. So, and that is like the biggest attack that you can basically do in a sequence now. So yeah, it's something really cool. It is pretty hard in the beginning to pull off, but like one of the things that I saw that happened to me a lot was like he would put this weapon away every single time. The reasoning for this was because I was running around, I'm guessing. So what I tend to do is I run to the monster, and then just before I want to like start charging up and vaulting up, I stop running, I charge up, and then I jump into the air with the circle still pressed in. Then I dash to the monster by pressing X. It is kind of annoying though, because it's like holding circle while pressing X together to go forward. And then I would basically pierce down by releasing my circle button or your B button. Now after I discovered this and I tried it, and even getting the 3 extracts from monster is now very easy because you can get up to 3, right? You should always easily be getting like 2 at least. It actually, my runs became much faster. I was doing way more damage. It became way more fun also. The other thing I basically wanted to try is I hoped I could like pierce down, right? Spiral up, get 3 extracts, charge up again, pierce down again, spiral up, and do it in a loop. Didn't manage to do that. It might be possible, but I'm not sure, right? In all the fights I just did, because I only played around, I think it's maybe 12 hours something on the game now, I did not discover enough of it yet, right? It might be if I'm like a couple of hours further into the game, or maybe 50 hours further into the game, that or somebody else or me or somebody else might just discover the skill that you can actually do it too. But as far as I know, that's the only thing you can do. Now there's something else you can do if you really want to. If you need like quick escape, basically if you spiral up, you can also like dash away from the monster. You can dash twice in the air to get away from the monster. If you're up in the air also, you can just go back on top of the monster and then just hit him with like a normal attack, right? So those are like the choices you can do once you've spiraled up into the air and you basically want to hit him, right? So yeah, if you don't have any cuts, yeah, just hit him or just move out of the way. If he has cuts, just try to do it like pressing L2 and the R1 button to put up your focus attack mode, right? Now do remember, you always want to get the colors. Previously the red one was more than enough. The problem is with the red one now, the only thing you can basically do, you can do your charge attack, right? But you can't do the follow-up one with the 3 colors. You always need the 3 colors for that one. Yeah, so it's kind of a bummer though, you need all 3. But now because you have like charge Kinsect that you can basically pop out, you can get all 3 colors in one go, so it makes the game way more easy now for the Kinsect Glaive in that instance. I do hope that they still will add, like when the game comes out, when it really releases, they will put it back. If you do your helicopter attack, you lunge up from the monster again and you can basically hit him again, so you can get your aerial playstyle again if you really want to. But I don't know if it's really gonna happen, right? So yeah, now these are basically the new things that they added. The rest, it's basically the same. The Kinsect Glaive didn't change that much. If you want to do like a focus attack though, the only thing you basically need to do, it's basically the same for every single weapon, is just hold L2 or left trigger and R1. That's when you basically do your focus. L2 is just to see the focus points. If you're playing with a gun or with a bow or something like that, the L2 is used for aiming, so it's basically pressing R1 to like see your focus points, and then you can basically do your focus attack here. Now I just leave all of my focus attacks for the aerial one because it does so much damage if you can do it from the air, and also if you hit him like that with spiral one, I leave them open just to do it like as my follow-up attack. But yeah, it's your own choice. You can also just do your normal focus attacks, you know, and then just spiral up to get like your essence back, and it's just continue that way. So yeah, now that was basically for the guide, peoples. If it was helpful in any ways, please please do remember to leave a like and a sub, guys. Keep yourself safe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Laters.